He moved rather slowly for a young man. Too quickly his life was snuffed out. A bright, colorful... Hello. You like my story? I'm James. This is ingVid. There were many, many adverbs used. For some of you, you would say, no, we were adjectives, because you said bright, colored, this and that. But in English, what a lot of people don't know, well, beginner students usually know, they know adverbs modify verbs, and nouns are modified by adjectives. And this is completely true. But the adverb is a canny beast, or strange, in other words, because it has more than one function. Today, what I want to teach you are the three functions of the adverb. You might be surprised, and some of you might know it, but you never know. Stick around for the ride. It'll happen rather quickly, yet painlessly. Let's go to the board, okay? I just used one on you. I hope you catch it. Come back to the beginning and check. Okay, so we look at adverb. The very word says add, so you put something to a verb, right? And this is action. Run, worm, run! See, the worm's running for his life. He's running quickly, yeah? So, running quickly, this is where we're going to start. We have action plus the verb, adverb. Adverbs usually follow verbs. Run quickly, okay? Now, what do they modify? Well, they modify verbs. They can also modify adjectives, which work with nouns, and they can modify other adverbs to give you, well, give you what? Well, when they modify verbs, they help us tell us where, how, and when. Okay, get that again. When an adverb modifies a verb, it tells us where, how, and when. How is that verb acting? When is it acting? Right? When an adverb modifies an adjective, it intensifies it. It brings intensity. Right? The brightly colored jacket. The brightly colored jacket. Because the jacket is bright, we know, but it's brightly colored. So, more intense, more powerful. And then with adverbs, it also brings emphasis. Too quickly he spoke to me. Rather sorrowfully. I can't even say it. Okay? He looked at me rather stupidly when I asked the question. Only I speak like this, Shakespeare and Mr. E. It's kind of embarrassing. There's only 3 of us, but you're here to learn English. I'm going to teach it. So I've showed you an adverb will either tell us where, how, or when. It will be used for emphasis with an adverb, and it can be used to intensify an adjective, give the noun more color, more feeling, more flavor. But let's get a little bit more deeply. Okay, so we're going to move from here, and we're going to go over here and look at verbs. Adverbs usually follow verbs. Okay, so when we talk about where, look inside. Inside comes after the verb. Look around, or look everywhere. Right? City TV in Canada is everywhere. So these follow the verb. When we talk about how, he quickly closed the door. He closed the door quickly. He spoke calmly. Right? This is how did they do it. And when. I know you hear all the time, yesterday and today and tomorrow, and probably someone hasn't thrown out or told you they're adverbs, because it tells you when. When did he do the work? He did the work yesterday. That's when. The work. We're talking about work. They're related, yeah? Or tomorrow. I'll go tomorrow. Notice how it follows the rule. It comes after. Now, sometimes when we deal with verbs, it comes before. And this is when we talk about frequency, like how often you do something, because that is kind of like a when situation. It's a when situation. So, for instance, if you go to the gym, now I'm embarrassed. Let me just put my coat on, okay? Little muscular James, no. Okay, skinny James, Dames Dean, okay? So when you say when you go to the gym, you might say, do you always go, usually go, or often? Well, in this case, we have to change the rule a little bit. We're going to change it. It doesn't follow the verb, it comes before the verb. So adverbs of frequency come before the verb. I like to talk about the 7 sisters. In culture in America, we got like, yo, brother, my mother, you know. And we're talking about the sisters. And the sisters are the following. If I teach you, please remember, and you'll never forget this. The 7 sisters tell us frequency, how often. They go from 0 to 100, like my girlfriend's temper. She'll be soft and crazy. 0 to 100, okay? In 6 seconds. 7 seconds. The 7 sisters these words are usually used. Now there's a star here, I'll explain after. But generally put, if you remember this, you'll remember the 7 sisters of adverb frequency. Always and never are opposites. You always do it or you never do it. 100 to 0. Sometimes it's 50%, but sometimes and seldom go together because they both start with S. 7 sisters, sometimes seldom. Got it? Always, never, sometimes seldom. Always, never, sometimes seldom. Now you know 4, okay? Crazy, but it works. Okay? And the other ones are usually, often, or rarely. Rarely means almost never. Here's a special note. People seldom say seldom. They only usually say rarely. But if you look at many grammar texts, they'll have seldom in there, so I need to teach it to you because you'll get confused. But seldom is more than rarely, because rarely means like maybe once in a lifetime. Seldom means more like 5, 6 times. And then we go up from there, okay? So this is how an adverb is text a verb. It tells us where, how, or when. And when we use it for frequency, remember to switch it, put the verb, the adverb of frequency before the verb. Okay? Usually go, not go usually. Moving on. Just so you know, ly is the most common adverb form. Quickly, normally, regularly, habitually. You know, they add ly because we are so lazy. Careful though, some adjectives have ly, right? But generally, ly is for adverbs, most common ending. Let's move over to adjectives, because you're probably thinking adverbs are with verbs, and here I'm talking about this adjective. This is crazy. Not really. This is why we talk about intensity, is to bring intensity to an adjective. Okay, if you have a colored coat, I might say, how was it? You say, a brightly colored coat. I get an explosion of light in the way I see it, like bright yellow, bright blue, right? So we say something, or very, and very is very common. Sorry, very is very common. When someone says the food is very hot, right? Or it's very cold. Cold is an adjective. How cold is it? What is the intensity of cold or hot? We say very. So here's one, or actually 2 ways in which we use adverbs to modify adjectives to give us more of an experience, like life, right? The soup was very hot, but it was very cold outside when I left the building, okay? And then we also use adverbs, when we talk about action again, to give emphasis to other adverbs. James speaks too quickly. Yeah, I know. And you just used it properly. You can go, that's right. I will write now on the engVid, you speak too quickly. You taught me this. Now I use it, okay? So please, slow down. Do not speak too slowly either. I will not be happy with this, right? So we can say emphasis, too quickly or too slowly. At the beginning, I told you about rather stupidly. Yes. I find many times I go to McDonald's, they look at me rather stupidly when I place my order. Big Mac, fries, Coke. Sir, was that a Big Mac? Blink, blink, blink. You're looking at me rather stupidly. Just want a Big Mac. Okay? So we can use rather. Okay? There's other words we can use as well. But just to keep it simple, when you do your research or when you come back to engVid to look at other lessons, we'll go over them. So, very quickly, I'm going to ask you some questions because I'm warning you now. On the quiz, these very same questions will be there. So you might want to look at the video again to make sure you can answer it. What do adverbs modify? Okay, what are the 3 things adverbs work with? It's on the board. How do they modify things? Like when do they do things? What do they help tell you? What do they help to tell you? Okay, and give some examples perhaps of a where, a when, or a how. Yeah? You know the answer to this? Think so, cool guy? Go to the quiz. Let's see. See how quickly you look stupidly at this point. Yeah, that's right. Oh, but before I go, I'll quickly write down. See, I'm using adverbs like crazy. Something very interesting for you, I am sure. See, again, I'm doing it, son. Follow me. Go to www. Okay. You want to know where? Well, don't look around. Okay. It's not going to be everywhere, but look inside this, right? Ing, as in English, vid, as a video, .com. Well, you'll get other lessons like this to help you improve your English. Rather quickly, I would say. That's right. Still teaching. Bye.